Good evening. This is Lauren Dalvia. I'm an astrologer and spiritual teacher here at Bene Mudra. This is your astro update for November 22nd through the 29th. I'm going to give you just a little update about the week in general, and then I'll go through the signs and give everybody a little something. And as I usually say, I recommend if you know your rising sign, please listen for that as well. It's as important. I listen to my sun and rising sign horoscope every time I do listen to or read a horoscope. So the overview. Basically today, Sunday the 22nd, there's a tricky placement between Mercury in Scorpio and Mars in Aries. This is words and action being kind of out of sync, calling for increased awareness. Monday, November 23rd, this is offering something easier. There's a trine, which is nice flowy energy between Neptune retrograde in Pisces and Mercury. So watch for this more natural path of expression or an intuitive flow of communication. Thanksgiving Day, November 26th, delivers another easy, flowy trine. This time it's between the Sun in Sagittarius and Chiron retrograde in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. So what this is going to mean is that wounds are not so hurtful with this aspect, as hope kind of blends with empathy and it makes it all easier to bear. I absolutely love this placement for obvious reasons, because even though things are different this year, we're often with our families on Thanksgiving Day. Holidays in general are highly charged. So, this is very auspicious. The next day, the 27th, sees Venus in Scorpio opposing Uranus or Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So relationships, finances, and values are confronted with a liberating and sort of a disruptive surge of detachment. Security is threatened, but the unexpected is going to sort of wake you up to what's really valuable. Uranus, every time you see Uranus or Uranus anywhere, he's the great activator. He's the surprise. He's the pow, like wake you up planet. So, and then the next day after that, November 28th, we're going to see Neptune stationing direct after many, many months in retrograde. And that's going to be a subtle shift in the current of dreams and magic and release and loss. And that's all good. Now I'm going to make my way through the signs, and I'll just give you guys a little bit of an overview. So Aries. So Mercury is in your area of shared resources. This can increase the flow of intimate conversation or healing information. A block to psychological progress can dissolve as well. However, there's kind of a funny placement with Mars in your sign that suggests that your actions will have to be moderated due to incompatibilities. So pushing too hard or acting without thought, it's going to result in errors. So be mindful of that. Secrets or buried information that can trigger surprising outbursts of temper. So kind of be aware of that as well. I've noticed that awareness of these things doesn't stop them from happening, but it does give me the possibility of pause at a much greater level than if I didn't know about it at all. That's sort of what it is about astrology. I can't avoid what the divine wants me to go through, but I can sometimes have pause, when eruption or disruption wants to occur, that might be very costly. Neptune is direct in your hidden sector areas, so subtle, but you may not be conscious of any shifts, but know that dreams or release is gradually moving forward, and it's a good time to pay attention to your dreams, to write them down and just be mindful. The sun is in your area of opportunities. That is in a beautiful trine with Chiron retrograde in your sign, and that boosts optimism and perspective, and that enables you to tackle a weakness or an insecurity. So this energy is encouraging you to reach farther as a way of addressing wounds. Taurus. Mercury is in your relationship sector. This enables compassion and sort of like a dreamy conversations. So it's excellent for emotionally soothing communication with almost anyone, including one-on-one, group, romantic, and platonic. It's really, really nice. However, hidden actions from others or your subconscious motivations can derail the above if you're not paying attention. So pay attention. Watch out for anger, watch out for frustration or impatience that's not fully acknowledged. Neptune is going direct in your social sector, and that suggests the progression of social ideals or a friendship. relationship based on the dissolution of boundaries or a release of outdated facets of your social image. So all of this is actually really nice. I just want you to pay more attention. I want you to breathe deeper this week and kind of meditate more, not because things are so edgy that you have to, but because the placements are really beautiful for some stuff to move forward, but like just to kind of let that space come in so you can like relax into what already is. Now the sun is in your area of shared resources, and that's trining that Chiron, that wounded healer in retrograde. That delivers a private but intensely helpful surge of compassion, healing, and passion. So the courage to confront a hidden weakness will increase trust between you and another or fuel your personal healing journey. It's an amazing week for healing. Venus is in your relationship sector opposite Uranus retrograde in your sign, and that can trigger a sudden ending or a result involving a competitor, like a business competitor or a partner. Liberation and disruption in your life will be reflected in the response of that partner or competitor. Their values may not be compatible with your changes. So you could attract someone new also based on this current evolution. So I like that as well. Gemini. Aspects to Mercury are in your sector of routine. This suggests that a smooth flow of ideas and communication between you and like any kind of management or day-to-day detail or big picture goals. So solutions can expand effortlessly under this, and they will include more than originally planned for. So your social actions or your efforts with friends or groups could be incompatible with daily solutions and ideas. So just kind of be aware of that. Impulse, impatience, anger will need to be moderated while getting bogged down in like kind of finicky analysis, Gemini, and will have to be balanced with the need to act. So it's a little bit of a balancing act this week, but there's some nice stuff. Neptune goes direct in your career sector. This introduces the next subtle stage in your move towards the future. Creative goals or your future dream can kind of slowly take shape under this placement. The sun is in your partnership sector. That is trining the wounded healer Chiron retrograde. That enables vibrant social connections that blend empathy with optimism. You can connect with others in a one-on-one capacity by being honest and courageous about your doubts or weaknesses. Social anxiety can be much easier to deal with. So you also be mindful. Venus is in your area of routine in that Uranus retrograde. This can trigger upsetting moments involving work routines, health, service to others, or coworker relationships. So severe imbalance can be abruptly exposed. Don't ignore a hidden truth that's emerging. Cancer. Mercury is in your area of self-expression. This can increase creative vision, optimism, or romantic dreams, or hopes and dreams or romantic conversation. More seems possible, but these thoughts will be incompatible with actions you take on the job or actions someone with authority takes. So there could be tension between ambition versus dreaming, or professional energy versus something less defined. So you can't force things to happen, but know that certain motivations should not be avoided. Neptune is direct in your opportunity sector. This can continue the process of opening and expansion in the areas of foreign matters, legal matters, education, or publishing. At the same time, watch for some beliefs and goals to dissolve. The sun is in your sector of routine in this flowy trine with the wounded healer Chiron retrograde. This enables a smooth integration of fears or weakness related to career or ambition. So preparation on a day-to-day level is plus a focus on health, improvement, and self-care. This can help you deal with any career difficulties. Venus is in your area of self-expression opposite Uranus retrograde. This suggests an exciting or like a shocking result in the area of romance, creative work, or personal indulgence. So what you want to attract can be delivered or disrupted in unforeseen ways. Not a great time to take risks. It may be time to liberate yourself from the expectation of others is really the big thing that stands out. Leo. Mercury's in your domestic sector. This will enable the easy discovery of family secrets or a flow of empathetic discussions. Also, you may slide back into habitual patterns of thought, so watch that. While information may anchor you in the past, you'll feel a contrasting urge to move forward and explore a fight for something new. There's definitely a contrast this week for Leo. So slow down if you're tempted to take a risk, please, because efforts in the area of travel, education, broadcasting, legal matters, publishing, they're not going to match what you're thinking or saying. So you just want to kind of slow down and get clear on like what's actually going on, and like align your vibration with the divine's vibration. Like it's going to be naturally askew, so it's going to take something to kind of get grounded and get clear. Neptune is going direct in your sector of shared resources. This dissolves deep fears or old habits while increasing trust between you and another. I love this. Progress also with psychological matters can be subtle, but can be actually quite important. The sun is also in your area of self-expression in this wounded healer retrograde Chiron. This enables confidence and charisma. You're able to tap into fears of the unknown, vulnerability, connected to any of those things: the travel, the education, the legal matters, the publishing, the long distance romance. Assessing a fear can transform it into fuel for creativity or attraction. It's really, it's a little bit of a twisty week for Leo, but it's a great week for alchemy. We can kind of alchemize what we think is negative into something that's really positive and really like go to the next level of being with it. Virgo. Mercury is in your communication sector. This suggests emotionally intense but really smooth one-on-one conversations. The boundaries will drop and truths will emerge, and they'll be delivered gently. However, buried anger, attraction, or frustration can add some discordant notes. So unacknowledged motivations can trigger unexpected and biting words. So it's better to be totally open with what's going on. That Neptune is going to go direct in your relationship sector. So this can continue the process of a partnership's dissolution or the removal of boundaries. And that's not the same thing. So it's just kind of like, sometimes when I hear that news about relationships, I get really triggered. I'm like, does that mean my relationship's going to end? It doesn't. It can be one or the other. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It's just kind of like Neptune is about boundarylessness. It's about the dissolution, boundaries evaporate. So that can play out in any number of ways. The sun is in your domestic sector. That's in a flowy trine to the wounded healer retrograde, suggesting family support or comfort involving deep wounds, which is really beautiful. Fear of loss, death, or betrayal can be approached with really compassionate optimism. And Venus in your communication sector opposite Uranus retrograde is going to deliver a surprising answer or decision. Clarity is going to come in a form of shock as external events can trigger restlessness or uncharacteristic outbursts or a sudden lack of interest. But like this surprise, it's not a bad surprise. It's just the surprise that is needed to move us forward. Libra. Mercury is in your sector of personal resources. This can open the door regarding financial conversations, ideas around resources or income, or a quiet sense of security. So, however, the actions of a partner or competitor will clash with your ideas about what you want or what's essential. This challenge is important in that it pinpoints a key idea that should be adjusted, but don't let the other person push you around. Neptune direct in your sector of routine suggests progress in a health or service issue, although you may have to deal with a sacrifice or the release of unhealthy habits. The sun in your communication sector is trine Chiron, the wounded healer retrograde. This enables optimistic but empathetic conversations that address a partner's wounds. The right mix of hope and active listening can be very effective. Venus in your sector of personal resources opposite Uranus retrograde can deliver a disruption to finances or self-esteem. So deeper changes or sudden detachment can force you into extreme self-sufficiency or radically redefine your values. Scorpio. Mercury is in your sign right now. So communication is deep. We are really in it, able to plumb the depths. This can increase creativity, empathy, and your ability to go with the flow. The right words should emerge naturally. However, efforts to fix or correct or do what needs to be done, especially in the areas of health or obligation, will be at odds with what you're saying. So just be mindful of that. This disconnect can lead to irritation. It can lead to anger. It could lead to errors. So just make sure external actions are aligned with your ideas. Neptune is going to go direct in your area of self-expression. This can release creative or romantic energy, which is really nice, and like letting go of what's not, doesn't serve you anymore, or what isn't authentic. The sun is in your area of personal resources in that trine to the wounded healer retrograde. This can help you address ongoing issues about work, health. Tapping into what's of greatest value to you, including a source of income, can make these difficulties easier to manage this week. Venus is also in your sign and is opposite Uranus retrograde, and that suggests that a partner or a competitor's kind of sharp left can catch you off guard. So, and just know that there's a sudden attraction can develop with business, with personal, or a change in the direction of a relationship is actually a reflection of how your approach to relationships is changing. So nothing's really happening that isn't like co-created by you is important to know this week. Juicy week for Scorpio. Sagittarius. Mercury is in your hidden sector, so this can gently reveal family secrets. This can enable compassionate communication with a family member. I like that for Thanksgiving week. It's good stuff this week for a lot of the signs, which is great. But Sagittarius, quiet contemplation of the past. This is favored, as are healing realizations. However, your efforts to gain attention or kind of express yourself or pursue an attraction could be incompatible with what's going on behind the scenes. So you want to move carefully and honor what's not being openly expressed gently, which is for Sagittarius, of which I am one. We like to be blunt. We're kind of in your face. We're fire. We're old fire, but we're fire. We're deep fire. And Neptune is going direct in your domestic sector. This suggests more progress as issues from the past kind of dissolve, or your current foundation shifts with relationships, or it's all relationships, but it's especially home relationships, marriage, partnership. The sun in your sign is in this trine to Chiron, the wounded healer retrograde. This kind of delivers a really beautiful, really smooth, optimistic surge of energy as you can address insecurity with grace. Fears around not being loved or seen or appreciated are much easier to manage simply by reminding yourself of who you really are. An eternal optimist, a lover, a dreamer, someone that sees the future, knows what they want to create in the future, and is clear about that. Clarity replaces vagueness always, but especially for Sagittarius this week, but like gently, like to enjoy the sun in your sign, but gentle, gentle, gentle is also a mantra. Venus is in your hidden sector opposite Uranus retrograde. This kind of can reveal secret desire, secret attraction. Doesn't have to be sexual, just, it's just kind of like what is hiding behind the scenes. Major changes in routine, obligation, health, things like that. Sixth house to others are liberating you from the old ways of being, and this will clarify what's been in the background. What you thought you wanted might actually change. Capricorn. Mercury is in your social sector. This can open the lines of communication with others, the public or friends. It'll be easier to connect with people in general on a compassionate level. Words could be incompatible with domestic actions, and you got to watch that this week. So pay attention to what you're saying versus like what you actually do. Lack of attention can trigger argument, obviously. Neptune is direct in your communication sector. That opens your eyes to new possibilities that are as yet undefined. However, at this point, you'll notice that they're slowly taking shape. Neptune is a little slow, but it's subtle, but it's deep. The sun is in your hidden sector in this trine to the wounded healer retrograde. This helps you address family wounds. You can tap into intuition easily, hidden sources of hope. Private healing and acceptance can occur at a deep level. Venus is in your social sector opposite Uranus retrograde. This is a sudden change or ending to a friendship, a group association, or your social image. You can attract something surprising or new in a romantic way as well under this placement. Unexpected results are the name of the game with Uranus. Aquarius. Mercury is in your career sector. This enables a flow of lucrative ideas and conversations as shifting values and emerging sources of income blend with what you're trying to say. However, efforts to assert your point of view can lead to arguments or unprofessional words. So be careful if you push too hard. Don't push too hard. Patience and careful assertiveness are crucial right now. This is a really good week for Aquarius, but you've got to be really mindful. Neptune is direct in your sector of personal resources. This continues the process of slow release regarding old values and outdated sources of income. The sun is in your social sector in this beautiful trine to the wounded healer retrograde. This opens the door to hopeful and compassionate communication. Fears around not being heard or not having your voice respected can be addressed effectively if you're ready to openly discuss. It's really, really nice for relationships and for feeling seen and heard and like the flow between yourself and another person. Venus is in your career sector opposite Uranus retrograde. This is a surprising twist that it delivers regarding a professional relationship or your professional image. Changes at home will drive this, so watch for a sudden ending or a shift in direction. Pisces. Aspects, so Mercury is in your sector of opportunities, including in this trine to Neptune retrograde in your sign. There's a lot going on. This draws your attention to emerging possibilities in the areas of travel, broadcasting, long distance relationships, legal matters, publishing, philosophy, learning. More is possible. Watch for inviting messages. Watch for projection also. I always say this about Pisces. You're the most project-onable of all signs ever times a lot. So fortify your electromagnetic field. If you know what that means and that feels, and you know what to do, great. If you don't know what that means, you just imagine there's a wall of protection around you, not a mean wall, just a wall that protects your energy. If you are prayerful or you ask for what you want, ask for that, ask for protection. If you call in the desire for protection, you will receive that, and you need that. Not super more this week than any other week, but like there's just a lot going on in your sign, and you always need extra protection because you're the most boundless, the most boundaryless, the most merged with the divine. So it's easy for people to mess with you more in a projection kind of way. So you just watch for those inviting messages. You want to also know that your efforts, however, to pursue what you want, including money, can undermine any kind of new possibilities if you're too aggressive or impulsive. So be careful about that. Neptune is direct in your sign, and that signals progress regarding hopes and dreams, release, and slow move away from the past, which is great. The sun is in your career sector in this nice trine to Chiron retrograde. This suggests new development professionally. This can ease financial or security woes. This will involve accepting certain weak spots while being willing to move forward with difficulty. You're not as vulnerable as you feel is the important thing to remember. Venus is in your opportunities sector opposite Uranus retrograde. This is going to deliver an abrupt change or ending to an issue involving travel, education, legal matters, publishing, broadcasting, long distance romance, something of that ilk. New opportunities might be off the table before they can fully manifest. So that's possible. Also, a sudden decision or revelation can radically adjust your perspective. So it's a big shifting week for Pisces. I really love this energy. You probably could have felt it yesterday on the 21st when the sun shifted from Scorpio into Sagittarius. It's a big shift. It's a very optimistic space right now to be in. We have a big month coming up. I also want to just, with love and thanks to my teachers, Remington Donovan, Diana Brown, my mentor, and to Nadia Gilchrist, whose mathematics and art brain and work this report is based on. As I said before, my name is Lauren Dalvia. I am an astrologer and spiritual teacher at Bene Mudra. My contact info is available there. I am available for spiritual coaching and vision work and astrological consultation. I can be found on Instagram at Lauren1111, and my business site is at 1111 Guided, and you spell the words 11 out. I wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving if you're in the United States, and much love and safety and boundlessness and grace. Good night.